Peter, what stands out to you about James Reimer? He's a guy who wants to be a starter in this league. He's been a good soldier for you. Works hard.
James, all year long, there was a lot of talk that, the conflict last year and different things and wanting to be a number one goalie. But this play is, there's been times when it's been up and down, but I think he's been a great soldier all year long. He's worked hard in practice. He's worked hard and getting in opportunities, and he's been a quality person. For me, I haven't seen any negatives. Obviously, you want to see the goalie win games, steal games in different times, but he's been a quality guy all year long. He's worked hard.
What will go into JVR becoming the power forward that you talked about? Like, what has to happen consistently for that to...
Well, I think sometimes there's inconsistencies with his drive and his intensity. Sometimes he's into it, and you can see he's taking pucks to the net, and he plays in harder in those inside areas and around the net, around the crease, and he's shooting pucks and he's driving up and back, not just up the ice. And there's times when there's inconsistencies to that, and I think getting to be a consistent, doing it all the time and driving emotionally. He's a big man with great soft hands around the net, and he has all the skill sets. So getting a consistent level is what makes the difference between top players and middle players.
How do you think that Tampa stacks up against the other top teams that you faced and looked at in your scouting?
Well, they're very well coached. They have Big D and they have skilled forwards, and their forwards are very skilled. They obviously got a difference maker in Stamkos, but they've got a lot of high-end quality character guys. Callahan's even on the fourth line, a guy like Morrow, who's been a captain of a team before. But you look at guys like Fopula and come through the Detroit chain, and the work ethic that they bring. They have speed, they have skill, they have young players, and when you look at Drouin and Kucherov and Namestnikov and those guys, they're high-end skilled players that play a very well coached game, and they have good leadership around them.
What differentiates Stamkos, do you feel, if anything, from the other kind of elite scorers in the league, from defending him?
Well, he's never played for me before, so to have the ins and out. But from all indication, the quality of person and the character that he brings to the game, that's what you want out of your leadership. You want them driving your team emotionally. He's a finisher. He's a guy that I think every day shows up in the right way. And from where I sit, what I see of him is a guy with a high-end character that has a high-end skill set.
Will Bailey get into one of the next two?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's going to play a lot more games, and we have some extra bodies, as we know, and we're going to make a decision at game time with him. But he's going to definitely, if he doesn't play tonight, he definitely will play tomorrow, and he's definitely going to play games down the stretch.
You mentioned with Reimer that there was issues and conflicts in the past. I don't know how much attention you paid to the just okay stuff with Randy last year, but did that color your idea of, okay, when I talk about goalies in this market, I gotta watch my words carefully?
I think that everybody is coached that when you come into this market, you got to watch your words carefully. But I think that was all kind of silly to me. I think as a coach, just talking about a game and him being emotional or frustrated and goes back and forth, and you guys love that because there's a story to write, and the conflict is a better story than a nice story. That's just the way it is. But I don't see it as a big deal. I just think that people like conflict. You guys like conflict?
I love it.
You love it.
Attack us.
I think you guys are great guys.
We go home for conflict. We try to avoid
You go home for conflict. There you go.
Is it your experience in the time here that players like Stamkos, guys from the GTA, get up for games here, or do all players get up for games?
In my experience with teams in Nashville or Florida, the guys that are from Ontario, and they got their family here, and it's exciting. So it's either that you're going to see them right at the top of their game, or they kind of get overwhelmed and distracted by all the things going on, and family asking, who's going to games and how many tickets are coming to the games and all the things go along with that. But I think everyone's very excited about coming back here and playing.
Is it often when you can get that fourth line out for 8 to 9 minutes a game? I thought the Carrick line had the puck inside the offensive zone for a good part Saturday night.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of the top teams now are. Their fourth line is, they're leaving them out, and they don't have to worry about whether or not they're playing against the other team's top line or where they can be, or they can leave them out because they're confident that they can play against them. But that's what I've been seeing more and more out of Sammy, you know, the confidence with the puck. Zach Sill in the same way. You know, when a fourth line, and we call it fourth line because we have to number things like that, but you want to see him play high in minutes. I mean, there's times when other lines are not going to be playing as well, and what you should see is that lines change, the minutes should change with each line, you know, just based on how well they're playing that game. But that's where you want to see the teams get, and you'll see most teams with playoff aspirations that are going to have their fourth line is going to be a very effective line.
Peter, you mentioned Reimer, you know, he's been a good soldier. From what you can tell of his temperament, his makeup, you know, he wants to be a starter in the league. Do you think he has that in him?
I think he has a very good temperament. He's got a very calm personality. I have one good experience with that with Pekka Rinne, and he's very calm. You can talk to him in between periods, talk to him on the bench. You can talk to him in any different situations. He's a quality person, but he absolutely hates to get scored on. So that competitiveness in practice and games drives that, but he's also not flustered. And, you know, if he is mad at any moment, he's able to reel that back in, so he's under control, so he can refocus very quickly. So obviously having a, you know, 6'5" body with athleticness helps in those situations. But Rhymes is very calm. You know, he seems to be under control. I think that's a positive thing. And having that work ethic, he has that work ethic. I think that's a very positive thing. So.
Need more conflict.
You want more conflict? Well, I'm not liking. I'm not liking his tie today.
It's one day early.
Yeah. He's the best dressed guy in the league, isn't he, in his position? Have you seen somebody in a better dress than he is?
No more questions for Peter. I think he's very well dressed. Yeah.
Too much? Nice?